Welcome everyone. Well, here you can see we've got two phones that I'm going to do a quick review of today. I've got the brand new iPhone 5. I picked this up yesterday on release day. This is the black 32 gig iPhone 5. The real deal, real thing. I've been using it for 2 days now. Works great, works awesome. I'm loving it. And next to it I've got my wife's iPhone 4. And she's had it for about 1.5 years now. Works great for her. She likes it. But some of you guys out there like her are wondering, should I upgrade to the new iPhone 5? Is it worth it? What new features does it bring? That kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these phones start to finish, all the features and upgrades and things that I can think of off the top of my head, and we'll just throw them all out there and then let you guys make the decision. I'll give you my best opinion on them as well. I've been using this phone for 1.5 days, almost solid, so I have a pretty good idea of how it works and what it's like to use. And so let's get started. First thing we'll notice here, you can see, is that the iPhone 5 is a little bit bigger. The screen size on the iPhone 5 is now a 4-inch screen versus a 3.5-inch screen on the iPhone 4. Now that being said, as soon as I fire these up, I will show you the screen size, but they've actually shrunken the bezels on the iPhone 5 from the wider iPhone 4. So even though it's a 1/2-inch extra screen real estate, it actually is only 0.37 of an inch taller at the overall length of it, which makes it a nice benefit. You can see right from the very visual front here that the camera has been moved from the side over here to the top, and that camera has been upgraded to a 720p camera versus the old VGA camera on the iPhone 4. While we're here, we'll just start tipping them up and taking a look. I'll show you right away the difference in the size. You can see that the iPhone 5 is a fair bit thinner than the iPhone 4. It's 18% thinner, and it's 20% lighter. Now 20% doesn't sound like a lot, but that being said, when you pick these up, it feels a lot more than 20%. It feels significantly lighter. Also, you'll see the extra length there, like I said, just slightly longer. And when I fire them up, I can show you the screens. So if we start going around the sides here, as you can see, the iPhone 5 has the new smaller SIM card slot versus the old micro SIM card slot on the iPhone 4. Move around to the top, you can see a slightly smaller, slightly shrunken power button versus the old iPhone 4. You can see the microphone and the headphone jack have been moved from the iPhone 4 to the bottom on the iPhone 5. I'll go over the microphones a little bit later. Moving around to the side here, we can see that the volume up down buttons are relatively the same size. I don't think there's any difference between them. If there is, it's very small. But you'll notice that the vibrate button is slightly smaller on the iPhone 5. And moving around to the bottom where the big differences show, you can see right there we've got our headphone jack moved from the top on the iPhone 4 to the bottom on the iPhone 5. We've got our microphone here, which is an upgraded microphone. And we've got an upgraded speaker over here. You can see on this one there's no headphone jack, it's on the top. On the 4 it's got the microphone on the left and the speaker on the right as well. And the big difference, which there's a lot of love-hate thing going on here, is the old 30-pin connector versus the brand new 8-pin connector, and that new one's called the Lightning port. I'm just going to show you what those two look like here just so you can see them. So there's the new 8-pin, there's the old 30-pin. So you can see the size is a huge difference. No comparison there. And the nice thing about the new 8-pin is it's reversible. It goes in either direction, whereas you can't do that with the old 30-pin. So what I mean by that is when I take my iPhone 5 and plug it in, it goes in either direction, so I can flip it around if I want. And there's pins on both sides. So that makes it nice. It's a nice little upgrade, kind of like your car keys. You can put them in both ways nowadays in the vehicles. You can see because I applied some power there. It's got the Apple logo on the screen. Yeah, so that's visually the differences. Now if we go over to the back side here, you can see There's some slight differences with the back. This one's got an aluminum back, very nice metal back, I really like it. And the iPhone 4 has the glass back, which adds to its weight. The cameras have been upgraded on the iPhone 5. This camera here is a full 1080p camera. This one here is a 720p camera. And some of the differences with that is the new iPhone 5 camera is basically it has an f-stop of 2.4 and this one has an f-stop of 2.8. So for those of you that don't know much about what that means in photography, essentially you've got 2 stops lower of f-stop. That allows you to step down or step up your shutter speed by stepping down your aperture, allowing more light to get in faster is essentially what it's doing in layman's terms. So what that allows you to do is freeze pictures faster, take pictures in lower light, just be able to get a better all-around picture by letting more light in faster. And this iPhone 5 also does the panoramic shooting where you point and shoot and pan the camera around, and it will align the panoramic shot and stitch it together automatically for you. I've tried it out, I really like it. This iPhone 5 also is advertised as doing a lot better night shots, or not night, but low light shots. And what that allows is just less noise in the image. It looks a lot better quality overall when you're not in the greatest lighting conditions. And I tried that and I did notice a big difference. This camera is extremely nice on this new iPhone 5. I really like it. Not that the 4 was that bad, but it is definitely a big upgrade for those of you who like to take some pictures. You'll notice here on the iPhone 5 too, while we're at it, is that the microphone is right there rather than on the top on this one. So they have 3 microphones on this iPhone 5 instead of 2 on this one. So they've got one on the rear here, they've got one on the front, and they've also got one on the bottom, like I said. Whereas on the old 4, they have one on the top, and they've got one on the bottom. So it just allows for a little bit better noise cancellation and a better, more accurate sound intake through the microphones. So that's a nice little feature there. And the last thing before I forget is I want to show you the antennas. I've never read this anywhere, but I noticed it when I was looking at these. If we count here, you can see the antennas here. So we've got an antenna on each of them there. We've got a second one here on the iPhone 5, none on the 4 here. There's the second one on the iPhone 4. We've got a third one on the 5 there, none on the 4 there. And so we've got our third one on the iPhone 4 here, and we've got our fourth one on the iPhone 5 here. So you'll notice that there's an extra added antenna on the iPhone 5, which is a nice feature for added reception. So let's do a comparison of these two phones and see what they do together. Alright, so next what I want to do here is I want to do a full power on test to show you guys what the boot up speed is between these two. I'm going to start them up and do my talking just to not waste time in the video. So I'll tip them up just so I can show you what they look like to be started up. So both are off fully, and I'm going to power them on at the same time on 1, 2, 3. So you can see the Apple logo is loading there. I'll just line the screens up there for you. So they both have iOS 6. The iPhone 5 comes with iOS 6 pre-installed. I've upgraded this one to iOS 6. Both have applications installed, not a huge number, just kind of your average, number of apps, maybe 30 apps or so. Both have some video. You can see the iPhone 5 is already done booting up, extremely fast boot up. Both have pictures, video, they've all been used, and so they're kind of like your typical usage. If you want to see how fast the iPhone 5 boot up is out of the box, fresh, with nothing installed on it, check out my other videos above. I've got some videos I took of what the boot up time looks like for that, and you can see that our iPhone 4 is still booting up here, so it's significantly, there it is. So it's significantly faster boot up. It looks like it's almost double. I'll have to check the times though and see what it looks like. So yeah, let's just swipe to get in here. That's my wife and son and I. And so let's just do a typical comparison. Like, what would you do with your phone? Well, let's launch, I don't know, Safari. So I'll open up Safari on both of them at the same time, and we'll just see a comparison of what they look like. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can see that they were pretty close. The iPhone 5 did beat it just slightly, but we are opening a blank page here. You will notice I'm connected to Wi-Fi on both phones. I've just got 1 to 2 bars of, well, 3 on this one now, of signal down here, and I'm with different carriers between these two phones, my wife and I, so I want to use the wireless just to have a fair comparison. The wireless I'm using is a good fast wireless signal, and so it should be a pretty fair comparison. So let's just go to our bookmarks, and we'll just find something to open up, like the Apple page. And whoops, I'll do the same thing here. So we'll just open up the Apple pages together on 1, 2, 3. You can see how much faster the iPhone 5 is, though. It's like it just opened immediately, and it's just very fast loading. So I mean, it's not that bad on this phone, but it is significant for speed difference. So let's jump out of here, and we'll go out and check out another app. Let's check out Facebook. That's something everybody uses. So I've got mine in my social folder here. So does my wife. So I'll launch these up at the same time as well, and we'll take a look. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. You can see mine's open already. Updated the feed, all done. You can see this one it's updating the feed now, and there it is. So it is significantly faster on the iPhone 5. Again, it's probably at least double, if not triple, the speed. Let's fire up Songza. I've got it on the screen there. Go under my music folder here. So on 3, we'll open Songza up. 1, 2, 3. Well, you can see the iPhone 5 is already up and ready at the playlists. 4, there we go. So close, but again, the iPhone 5 is about double the speed. What else? How about the camera? Since that's something everybody uses. So we'll go back to the home screen here, and camera there and there on 1, 2, 3. So again, it's a little bit faster on the iPhone 5. Any of the heavy tasks processing, that's where you're really going to notice the speed difference as well. Just doing the basics, they show slight differences, but it's just a snappy all-around quick phone to use, which I really like. So yeah, it gives a good comparison there of the speed differences between the two in real-life usage. A couple other things to note here, I guess, is I mean, the internals that you can't see. We've got an A6 processor in this this machine, and we've got an A4 in this one. We've got the fancy NFC chip for payment options in the future, which we'll see how Apple utilizes, and with all the legal stuff around that. We've got 4G and LTE coverage with the new iPhone 5 versus the 3G on this one. The new iPhone 5 also supports 5 gigahertz wireless signal instead of the just 2.4 on this one. I'm the only one in my neighborhood here, so 5 gigahertz signal on this phone does a nice job. I'm broadcasting 4 SSIDs, so I can try out the different speeds between 2.4 and 5. I guess the other things to note are when you bought your iPhone 4, for those of you who have one, you could get it in the 8, 16, or 32 gig size. They've changed, just like they were on the 4S, to be the 16, 32, and 64 gig on the 5. The 5 also has Siri, which is a nice little feature. I can quickly just show it to you here. So you can just hold it up to your ear to fire up Siri, or you can just hold down this button. What is the weather? And she'll look it up for me. And essentially on here we've got a few other things, like we've got the new maps program.
Here's the weather through Friday.
So it's giving me the weather there for here. This is in degrees Celsius. This phone, actually both of them have the new Apple Maps program, which I'm really liking so far. It's actually pretty good with the turn-by-turn direction and 3D navigation, or GPS navigation. And this one though will do the 3D. This the older iPhone 4 doesn't have the hardware support to do it, so that is one benefit of the iPhone 5 or the 4 is the 3D views. If you want to check out what the 3D views look like, look at my other videos above. I've got a nice map review I did of the Apple Maps application on here. Last but not least is one of the accessories, which we all know and have heard about, I'm sure, by now. But I'll just grab one of each. But there's the new iPhone 5 headphones, and there's the old 4. So you can see they go in your ear a lot differently. This is the old traditional style. This is the new one with the vents. They've even got the bass tube vent, the mid-range vent, and the front vent there. I really like these headphones. They're a bit more comfortable, a bit more natural. They sound a little better than the old ones, and so that is, I guess, one of the major peripheral changes, as well as the phone out of the box with the 5 comes with the volume up down and the microphone controller built onto it, which is a nice added feature. I really like these, and the noise cancellation is awesome in those new headphones. So there you have it. Thanks for checking out the iPhone 5 versus iPhone 4. I would say, in my honest opinion, if you do have the iPhone 4 and you are considering upgrading, yes, it is worth it to go to the 5. You'll notice a big difference in just the speed of the overall phone, the flexibility, the upgraded cameras, the sleek, thin design, the lightness. It's just a more fun and more ergonomic and just awesome phone to use. The 4 isn't bad, especially after you've put on the new iOS 6. So if you haven't done that, for sure do that, and you can make your judgment call then. I would say if you have the 4S, however, it's a bit more of a toss-up whether it's worth the upgrade or not. I mean, obviously it is, but it depends how much that money and added cost is to you to do that upgrade. But I'd say if you have the 3GS, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'd say if you have the 4, I would still probably do it if you can afford it with no issues. And if you've got the 4S already, then unless you really want one, I'd go for it. So please check out my other videos above. I've got lots of iPhone 5 videos and reviews above. I'm loving my phone so far. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy your new iPhones.